Hi, I'm back for part 2 of the Braxtons, the breakdown. The breakdown of the breakdown. This family is just so traumatized. I want to just pull on some more points of the episode. Let's start with Tawanda and her really, really cheap looking wedding. So she's getting ready for her Bridgerton. Oh my God. She's getting ready for her Bridgerton bridal shower, and Tony can't make it because Angie Stone passed away, unfortunately, and they share a bunch of like dancers and tour people. Tony was going to come up with anything. A bird would have flown in the sky, and she wasn't going because she doesn't rate or respect Tawanda. And yeah, like, I honestly think Tawanda has animosity towards most/all of her sisters, especially especially Tamar and Tony. Like, it's so evident that she just has this hatred for them, this guttural hatred, and she needs to figure it out. Tamar was bringing up some great points, just that, like, you know, I take medications because of you guys. You guys are trying to shut me down, shut my business down. I definitely think it was the brother, that wicked brother. I deleted all the pictures from my phone of these people because I don't want a picture of that man in my phone. I would rather chew glass because, he actually, it's really just so sad. Ashley's story, if you read between the lines of what she's saying, my heart aches for her. And Tamar, you should just say who did what they did to you and what they did to you. And that brother, he's got a lot to answer for. And Tawanda has a lot to answer for as well. These people are just disturbing it, truly. Some main points. Tony lied. She lied in her confessional. She kept lying. I didn't say, oh, you're telling me, Tony Braxton, I said bring Ashley on the show, and then 10 seconds later, so I told Tamar to bring Ashley onto the Braxton show. What? Tony is another form of wicked, because what do you mean? And you're going to try and embarrass your sister in front of everyone else for validation? That's all she does. Everything Tony Braxton does is for validation. It's for outward validation. That's how she has thrived in her whole career. Tamar doesn't care who she looks crazy in front of, as we can see. But Tony doesn't mind. Tony does mind. She doesn't mind throwing you under the bus and then running to her confessional later. She was like, oh, I paid a lot of money for my publicist. And then Tawanda's like, ooh. Tawanda, shut the... Anyways, okay. And then in her confessional, Tony, 10 seconds later, Tamar didn't ask me to pay for the publicist, but I paid for the publicist. So why are you bringing it up? Because she had no idea of what you're even talking about. She has her own publicist. She has her own money. She has her own thing. You were protecting yourself, okay? You were protecting yourself. Whatever Tamar was doing to embarrass you, like, oh my gosh. Tony Braxton might have brought the name to the front and center of our attention of the 90s, but Tamar Braxton has kept the legacy going. When I first, I didn't even know Tamar and Tony were related. I knew Tamar separately from Tony, but then I was like, Braxton, and I was like, wait, are they I just didn't even put two and two together. I knew Tamar as a separate entity, and I knew Tony as a separate entity, and it just, they've separated their businesses very well, but also they've brought them together. So, I didn't grow up in the US, so I didn't see them on my daytime Wendy Williams or anything. I'm just getting these things from the internet. And, 2011, I was what? I was like 15. I wasn't watching the Braxtons. Yeah, what else can we talk about? Trina and Tawanda, them two are miserable as sin. Tawanda has been placating Trina. Oh, you're the victim, Trina. This is why Trina doesn't actually think she's done anything wrong. She's grieving this man. He can burn in... Oh my gosh, okay. Let me just calm down. You're grieving this man. He dogged you out for years, and you're defending this man over your niece. How does that make sense? How does that make sense? Women that look at every other woman as competition, mothers that look at their daughters as competitions, aunties that look at their niece as competition. There's no... It's just disgusting. Male-centered. Tawanda is also male-centered, jumping up and down about this wedding like she's the first person in the world to get married. You're 50 and you're getting married. It's really not anything too special. Like, jumping up and down. When Tamar's bringing up money that you owe her, that you've stolen from her, you didn't say you're a liar. I haven't taken no money from you. What are you talking about? She just said, you stole Tony's boyfriend. Something that happened 30 years ago, before I was even born. 30 years ago, you're talking about you stole her boyfriend. Men. Like, what? Really? These women. I don't have any sisters. I've got 2 brothers, and I understand sibling rivalries, parents pitting the kids against each other. Trust me, I understand that. I understand being a black sheep, being the outspoken child. I understand that. But sisters, that is a whole other kettle of fish. And I do really empathize for Tamar. She's not no perfect person. She's not no angel. Like, she's got a crazy mouth, and she has her own faults. But when your sister wants you arrested, she's the auntie of your son. I have no words, genuinely. I know Miss E comes from a very different generation, very different. Even these ladies come from a very different generation than myself, and so it just doesn't align our views. But right is right and wrong is wrong. Miss E, she's been, even her book, it's 2025 and your book is talking about I'm not bitter, because we all know that you are. Your daughter laughed in your face when you said that you're not bitter anymore. Even watching Tamar's heartbreak retrograde thing, at the end, her scene with Miss E was like, because Tamar said she cheated on Mendices, and her mum was just like, you're wrong, you're so wrong. She wanted to just look like the moral high ground, but it was coming from a very hurt place. Very hurt place. I don't think she ever moved on. And yeah, that's just done a whole load of damage to those daughters. Their expectations in love and marriage were just broken before they could even start. And that son where he's been in a female dominated home, and your older sister's who everyone cares about, the famous one, God knows what havoc he was wreaking in his life. For Ashley's mother to remove herself from the birth certificate, that's unheard of. She said, you know what, you got it. You got it. Y'all got it. I don't blame her. Poor Ashley and poor Lauren and poor... oh my gosh, another thing I wanted to say. Do you know who's laughing right now? Tracy's widow, Kevin Sr. Kevin Sr. is probably laughing his head off that Tawanda, Trina, all of them, they are being exposed. I don't know if he likes Tamar. I don't know if he likes Tony or the mother. I think he thinks all of them are trash, because you look at how you treated me the second your sister died. I was her husband for 30 plus years, and this is how you treated me. I don't know the politics of that family, but how they treated him was disgusting. They chew the men up and spit them out. But look at Tawanda, look at the rest of their relationships. Look at them. Vaughn, ugh. Who wants to be married to Vaughn, apart from Trina? Mrs. E, Tamar, she's dated, she had a successful marriage. Tamar's still young and beautiful and can figure out something. I hope she can. Tony's married to Birdman. She talks about she's not ghetto, but she's married to literally Birdman. Okay. And Tawanda just got married at 50, jumping up and down, and her daughter had that wig on. Yeah. I know that Kevin Sr. is vindicated and justified after they've exposed themselves. Let me know your thoughts. Hopefully this part 2 helped clarify a bit more. What else happened in the episode? I guess Tamar, she was doing her video shoot. She looked good. Tony was performing. She's always performing. Really not much more that happened. I can't wait to see next week's episode. I don't want to see Tawanda get married. I really don't care. But thank you guys for watching. That sounds horrible, but I genuinely don't care. I want to see how tacky it was and see the mum and the dad in the same room together, because that's always a car crash. But yeah, thanks for watching. Bye.